The fallout from UFC 290. Congratulations to the South African Dricus Du Plessis for his second or third round KO of Mr. Robert Whittaker, who is a excellent fighter. He seems to be a very good gentleman outside of the ring as well. Disappointment for him. But let's just jump straight into the controversy, because controversy does sell, you know. Everyone's talking about it. Some people are talking about other things. Israel Adesanya then had well, let's rewind. Let's rewind. We had some WWF type stuff going on post fights with Israel breathing very heavily and staring at Mr. Du Plessis, which I thought, again, that's real WWE, adding to the drama and the suspense of the whole thing. I thought, okay. And then we see him outside of the cage. I thought, oh, they're going to do a face-off, are they? And yeah, so let's rewind time a little some. Look, as you can see, I'm on Israel's page now.
Please show me where I said fake, they are fake Africans, or where I said that I am the real African.
2 years. Want to be the first real African champ, trained, born, bred in Africa. Want to be the first real African champ. Want to be the first real African champ.
I didn't say that.
Want to be the first real African champ.
Please show me where I said that I am the real African.
Want to be the first real African champ.
Please.
Now, should we unpack that in any detail? In any further detail? I think it deserves it. Because as I said on the previous build, there is some issues on both sides. Now, the point that Kamaru Usman brought up in regards to, lineage and heritage, ultimately, that's what he's talking about. It makes sense. Yeah, it definitely makes sense. But Dricus was indeed born in Africa. So from the sense of the modern sense, yes, of course he's an African. Heritage-wise, he would be a Dutch, right? He would have Dutch lineage. So, both people, Israel, Kamaru, Dricus, both have very valid points. But how have we got to Israel in the octagon, not the cage, because I've trademarked that there. Saying, I mean, he started off cool, my African brother, and all this stuff. Let's play the team. Let's play. Where is he at? He started off real cool. He did, and then it just deteriorated into some madness. Let's peep it. Let's peep it. There we go. Let's rewind it.
And the man you will face next is standing to your right, the great Israel Adesanya. Yeah, I don't know about good. You're fine. Relax. This is my African brother right here. Let's go. What's up? Let's go.
Oh, so he hasn't even got the one when he's actually saying it. I went to Twitter because I thought he would have the expletives that he was saying. Now look what he's put. If you ain't my brother, you ain't African. Yeah? Exclamation mark ×2. I will show you where you from. And in all caps, yeah? Look what he's saying. Now let's unpack that in itself. Now, I know in the wilderness of North America, it seems for the past maybe 10 years or so, it seems real popular for people who are non-black to call each other that word as some kind of term of endearment when they want, and then also as a term of disrespect when they feel like it. And again, within the black community, it's done the same thing. there's problems. There's clear problems with this. There's clear problems with this slur. Okay. What on earth is a multi-million-dollar champion doing? I mean, and let's unpack the other element of it, because he's Nigerian. Yes, yes, yes. So Nigerian is his country. The continent is named Africa. This is a new thing. They don't refer to themselves as that. They refer to themselves as the country or as the continent. Now, people in the wilderness of North America, Canada, the Caribbean, West Indies, Caribbean, and Europe, people of the diaspora, they use that term quite frequently. Yeah, wrongly or rightly. So miss me with all that. Miss me with all that. It's silly, man. It's real silly, and it confuses the whole thing. I understand that Israel may be upset. Now he says real African. Yeah. I think the sentiment, what he's actually saying, and it's clear. He ain't gone nowhere. Yeah. He's still there in South Africa. Is he? Israel Adesanya, he is in New Zealand, right? Kamaru Usman is in America, Florida, I believe. You know? My lineage goes back to the Caribbean or Caribbean, West Indies, but I reside in the UK. It's kind of like, come on, what are we talking about? This is that they're blowing things up. Ariel is on some madness, and we're gonna play some of Mr. mma-guru's video, because he's been on points. Don't agree with everything he's saying, but we're gonna get into that as well, because he's picked it apart. This is crazy. Ariel knows the dilly. He knows the dilly. I mean, Ariel, what's your lineage? He's saying he's a proud Canadian, but he's been residing in America for 10 years, and he would pick Canada, over America. Okay, but what is your lineage outside of that? Why is the lineage of most Americans or Canadians? They're European if we go back into their heritage, right? This is dumb. This is the dumbest thing, and we shouldn't be doing this in the Gregorian year of 2023. 36 of me, is that just to poke fun or not to promote the actual company? If we subtract 10 from that number, he said we would get the actual company. So maybe he's thinking, look, I don't want to give them any shine, kind of thing. But two things on that. Surface level, he's correct. If you to do a DNA, you would obviously, the DNA would allegedly find where your family tree comes from geographically. But as we know, or as you may not know, and if you do a rudimentary research, you will find that the 23andMe and Ancestry.com and all the rest of the companies, it's flawed. Do the experiments and send me an email, drop me a DM, give me a comment, send your DNA to multiple of these companies and find multiple different results coming back. It's load of, what do we say? Codswallop. Now, yeah, again, I kind of understand. He's upset. He's saying, "Oh, look, wait a minute. You were just born here, And also South Africa. He's from West Africa, the continent. There is a lot of division, but there's also, a lot of pride to say that you're from that continent. I get it. Yeah, we're crossing the line. We're really crossing the line. Let's see what Mr. Guru has to say.
Encourage Chael to be on that perspective of things as well. He's very sneaky the way he does these things.
Made this too personal, and DDP is saying like, oh, look, I'm just talking about who lives there. But if you go back to his original comments, and have you heard his original comments? Would you?
By the way, this is very interesting. Listen to what he just said there as well.
Just talking about who lives there.
I'm just talking about who lives there.
But if you go back to his original comments, and have you heard?
Like his original comments aren't entirely about who lives there. Oh, I'm just talking about who lives there. But if you go back to his original comments, about who lives there. Like, he's trying to, like, I think he's trying to hope that Chael doesn't know as much about this as him, so he can steer it a certain way. And he'll ask to see if Chael knows as much about this as him.
Heard his
Yeah. Those who have eyes to see and ears to hear can see exactly what's going on. Mr. Helwani, Mr. AKA 10-7, who uses quite a lot of profanity these days. He's really kind of unbuttoned his collar, loosened his tie, and he's in his own little zone right now because the F-bombs that be coming out, he's just real relaxed, man. And as I say, he's in his own. He's in his own zone doing his thing, but this is very disingenuous. It's disingenuous what you're doing. You have you're all up in Mr. Israel Adesanya, okay? And makes a point of the pronunciation of his word and all that. You know, we know that Ariel Helwani has I don't think you can call it a morbid, but he has a fascination with original people, yeah, with black people, the culture, the lifestyle, and all the rest of it. It's documented, okay? Yeah, come on, let's go. Let's do it.
original comments? Would you
Have you heard his original comments?
like for me to play them to you? I could play them for you just for context.
I could play them to you just for context.
Helpful if you reminded me, please.
Okay, let me play it for you. This is the original. This is how it all started between them.
Yeah.
This is how it all started between them, and he plays
Yeah, man.
Dricus's very basic statement about the fact that he's the guy actually in Africa, and he's flexing that on Adesanya, saying,
But let's not forget Mr. Guru and everybody else. He did actually say he is the real African. So in essence, based upon that statement, he's saying that the other two, or maybe the other one, specifically Israel, isn't a real African. Now we can go to the side and say, well, no, what he actually means is because he's still there in South Africa training. But that's not what he said. You know, additional clarification to kind of like, well, wait a minute, I think someone could take that the wrong way. Let me add some more detail on it to back up that statement. So there is some issues with that.
saying that you're not the guy in Africa, I'm the guy in Africa right now, training out of Africa. And then let's see what Chael responds to that with. This is the best part. 8 minutes and 10 seconds. Let's see what Chael responds with.
Those are the comments. That's how it all started.
Yeah, that's interesting. I mean, I don't know where that sits. I will tell you, as personal as I could get on that from just my own experiences, I tried to do that to some guys. I tried to do that when I was fighting Anderson Silva. I tried to tell the world he's not Brazilian. He lives in Beverly Hills. I tried to do that when I was fighting Vanderlei Silva.
Faced Chael Sonnen, bringing up the fact
Yeah.
that this has happened so many times before in UFC history. I mean, I don't know where, I mean, I've done that before. Like, he doesn't see the problem with this because he's done it before. Edwards did it in the build-up of his title fight about Bisping. They did it about Moreno.
Yeah. I mean, these are valid points, man. These are valid points. Let's just get to the fight. Very quick turnaround for the challenger. 2 months. This is like tailor-made. I mean, he picks his fights. He fights, he fights pretty regularly, which is good for a champion to do. He's making that guap. He's getting those sponsorship deals, no endorsement deals, etc., etc. He's living life, man. He's living life. I don't think I'm going to cover any more of the controversy. I think I've unpacked it in enough detail, bites of detail that we can all take from it. Along with Mr. Guru, he's provided some excellent information as well and reactions to it. But the thing which he's missing, and I think because he's young, and obviously there are a lot of young listeners and purveyors of said combat sports, they haven't lived through the times when apartheid was actually taking place. When it was on the news and stuff, and you growing up as a youngster thinking, you what? This is still going on, and you going to school and watching the horrific story of Steve Biko, and you're thinking, what on earth are we doing in a modern society, in a modern world, with electricity. We're not living in the Stone Age or nothing. How is this stuff still happening in that continent as well? We're not talking about in a place of Europe. We're not talking about in England. We're talking about in the cradle of civilization. So there is some nuances we all need to look at, but I think this is highly inappropriate unless this is going to be a teaching moment. You know, are we going to bring forth any kind of clarity? Are we going to build and mend some bonds? It's interesting times, But Duplessis even mixing up his first name and his last name, he poses a threat to Israel. Israel should win. Let's not get it twisted. He's he's a marksman, a sniper, as they say. Duplessis is tough, man. He is tough. He's got the weight on him as well. It's going to be interesting. I always bet on black, but I love an underdog. Let's see if they do a U-turn. Oh, I'll be remiss if I missed if I missed out the Dana White. Shall I bring up the Dana? Let me see if I can get the Dana White thing. Let's get the Dana White. Let's hear Mr. White's comments post-fight.
Second best guy in the world in that division. And then, somebody's going to get in their face and get aggressive with him again after they just got done getting out of a war. But Adesanya and I had a...
Notice the body language. Anyone who studies body language, just look at what he just did then.
had a debate over it, and he promised me that nothing crazy would happen. So we did it.
I know you say, hey, this is the fight business. People say nasty things, right? But the tension between those two and kind of the racial undertones and all those things, how do you...
What were the racial undertones?
Dricus says he...
What were the racial undertones? Don't you just love it? Dana White, the quote-unquote best promoter in the world, combat sports-wise. Listen to him. Huh? Someone was speaking about ethnicity, race, or color. What? When was that?
He's the real African fighter, and so, Israel dropped some N-words in there tonight.
So what was the racial? Who did? Who dropped the racial?
Israel was saying over and over, yeah.
He's black.
50 N-bombs in
there. Okay, he's black.
He's black. He's black. He's black. So okay. So he's black. So he can say the N-word. He can say the N-word on because you see, this is how this is just crazy. That would be an issue 20 years ago. He wouldn't have been able to say that on ESPN, on any live broadcast. That's not allowed. That was not allowed. But it's in the lexicon. It's in the culture now. This is just crazy.
Who gives a shit?
I was going to say, so you don't have any concern about the way the build-up, the tension between those two?
I could care less. This is the fight business. Israel Adesanya can say whatever he wants to say. Who gives a shit? Why are people bitching about that?
Some people.
Of course they are. Oh, fucking A. All right, got it. Yeah. Too fucking bad.
All right.
Yeah.
Last thing for me then.
Yeah. Last thing from me, John Morgan, who always, someone in the comments, why does John Morgan always ask the first question? Why is he allowed to do that? Is this because of his long standing? Like, why is this the dude always popping off the questions? And push back? Dana White's responded and he said that. Why don't you say, well, yeah, look, he's saying the N-word and stuff, whether he's black or not. He's not referring to himself. He's calling a white person that. Like, what are you talking about? Are you not concerned? Don't you think that, no, because all publicity is good publicity, whether it's negative or positive. I want as many people to buy this pay-per-view, and we want to get this guap. Like, comment, subscribe, share. Adios.